troszeczkę innych okolicznościach przyrody, bo w studiu kanału Sport Szczecin przychodzi mi witać się dzisiaj z czytelnikami, widzami portalu Pogoń.net, no bo jest to też dość wyjątkowy moment. Razem ze mną jest dzisiaj właściciel Pogoni Szczecin, Haditaghi. Zanim oficjalnie zapowiem, poproszę o troszeczkę wyrozumiałości. Dawno nie robiliśmy materiałów w tej formie. Będę starał się prowadzić rozmowę z Aleksem Haditaghim w języku angielskim. Jeżeli mój angielski nie będzie perfekcyjny, a zapewne nie będzie, z góry przepraszam, ale będę starał się robić wszystko, co w mojej mocy, aby ta rozmowa była jak najbardziej płynna i jak najlepsza do odczytania tak naprawdę przez Was. Alex, welcome in our studio. What do you think about this place of my friends?
It's beautiful. It's got, Camille's and Linus's jerseys and lots of beautiful stuff, and it's an honor to be here. It's good to be here.
Yeah, welcome one more time. And Alex, I will start for first question regarding your decision to come to Szczecin, buy this club, to be owner of this club. I know you answer for these questions, I think 100 times in last month, but when I, maybe not in Szczecin, but when I go somewhere, all people ask me why this guy want to buy this club, why he was that impressed to do this for a few months.
I'm driven by passion. I like challenges. When I looked at the club, I realized I will never make money from the club. So it wasn't about business, about making money. It wasn't about the real estate that I'm gonna buy homes and sell homes and this. It really was a passion project for me. I love the fact that the team did not win any titles in history. That was the ultimate challenge for me, coming to a place that for 78 years never won anything. They got close so many times, Polish Cup finals like 4 times before last year, and being in the top of the league like 4 weeks or 5 weeks to go, and suddenly the team basically not doing it. And that challenge itself was really great for me to pass and not go for it. I do things when my heart feels right. For example, I met my fiancée, which I'm getting married to. I knew her for 34 days before I proposed to her. Mm-hmm. When you know. And I had the opportunity to buy 4 other clubs in Poland when my negotiation didn't go well. We were very close of finalizing one. And when Pogon situation happened with Nilo and, Carol mm-hmm. and Morochek, I told them that I'm going to Pogon, try to buy the team. So for me, it's a passion. I will never make money here. I've, I don't want to do it for 1 or 2 years. It's a long-term passion project for me.
Mm-hmm. Pogon growth in the last years. Of course, we have a new stadium. A lot of good things happened, mostly from sport perspective, 2 bronze medals. But the biggest problem of this club was his debt. Year by year, it's still growing and growing and growing. Did you know at the start how much cash is on the debt in this club?
No, obviously, the numbers that initially were quoted to us was different, and then when we start looking at the numbers, it started to look different all the time. And
till today?
Getting worse and worse, and it's scarier. I guess at one point, and still even that transaction closed on March 14th. Mm-hmm. After that, I got bills and invoices and liabilities that it would just shake your head that came out of nowhere. And we had to fight them. We were fighting them on a daily basis. But initially, the number was closer to 20 million zloty. By the time everything's done, the number was closer to 72, 74 million zloty worth of debt.
Mm-hmm. And it's still coming, unexpected things?
A lot, and we're facing it. We try to fight it, people coming out of nowhere trying to give us invoices and things, and we challenging it, We just got an invoice a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, for an agency that old management of Karl Zabrowski and Nilo Fori that worked with this agency to bring a bunch of players for, I believe, 1.7 million euro, which is 6 or 7 million zloty. So now we're fighting that thing off, and there's lots of them. That the fight is ongoing, is a daily thing.
How much money have you already invested to repay these old things?
Too much.
I expect that answer.
So far, the investment to the club itself alone has been 41 million zloty, a bit more, because and they're all been in capital share, so there's no loans. There's other money that I had to give to the people, for example, Morochek, and stuff like that. So right now I'm close to 50 million zloty, which is around 12 and a change million, and that's all in the last 221 days.
Okay, and in the last media reports, we can find the information about the Fabryka Papieru Kaczory and the loan from them. It was not paid. This date when club should do this, it was few months ago. Why did it not pay? We waiting for some cash? We want to...
No, we had an understanding with them. We actually have made payments. So the stories that came out are inaccurate. For example, stories said that the shares and capital never came in. They did came in, the money for the share subscription, and but the court process sometimes takes 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So we're waiting for the court, Polish court, to process that. And with regards to Kaczory, we had made a deal. We have a deal in place with them. We have actually made payments to them, a significant payment, and our last payment to them will be sometimes in February.
Okay.
So there's a deal. This with regards to the stories that they're going to try to freeze the bank accounts, or there was no share issuance and everything like that. Inaccurate, And I know people trying to interfere with the business, trying to scare the fans and other things. Everything's under control. One of the promises I made to Pogon fans and everybody who loves this team, that I will never let anyone take advantage of the club, and I will fight for the club. Always, from day one to the last day I'm here.
Do you feel that someone in the community are not supportive or even hindering your efforts to build the club? Because we know how you communicate in the social media, and I think you're trying to show those people who is not on the Pogon side in your way of thinking.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think?
I think yes. I think there is some people for who there is a not the correct way to be with big Pogon.
Well, let me put it this way. A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we paid Mr. Yareksevich's loan, and I know we informed a few journalists, and you've been one of them. And once you published it, that was down briefly after you published it. Why was it taken down? You don't need to answer. You don't need to answer. Before an article came out about Fabryka, many journalists from all across Poland were contacted days ahead saying this story is coming out. We need you to publish it. I assume you were one of them as well. You don't need to answer it. Listen, there are people that wanted, I believe, this is my personal opinion, to get the club for free, to own it for free. And they were very sad to see someone like me comes in with the real money to take over and make all the payments and stuff like that. People like Karol Zabrowski, he's fighting with me since day one, and as he tried to create problem for myself and what I want to do, 100%, is he in best interest of the club? In my opinion, no. I'm very direct. I don't need to beat around the bushes, and it doesn't help, lots of people from our academy, coaches get called, you should quit, you shouldn't work there. Lots of employees would get calls like, why are you working there? It's not good, putting pressure on the players, on coaches in academy or people who work there, and they need this job to support their families. I'm not saying who made those calls, but a lot of those calls were made. And, I think that chaos is not good for the club. I think the players need calm, players need confidence, players need to know everybody's behind them, that there is nothing there. And I think my focus is right now, make sure there's no chaos there, and that's where we are. But I wish the people who we paid them, like Sajovic or Karol, they got their money, they should just move on with their life. There's no reason for them to be hanging around the club, trying to interfere, trying to get articles published, trying to, not them, I'm not going to say who, but create this fake Twitter accounts to attack us and attack my staff and employees. Just love the team, come watch the games, and that's what it should be.
Mm-hmm. And if we look a little bit for the future, is there a risk that the club will incur debt if it doesn't qualify for European competition in this season or not?
No, our business plan is very different. Mm-hmm. In the past, I know the old management believed in putting the Polish Cup win and finishing top 3 and playing Europe as part of the business plan.
Yes. And
spend the money based on those. Mm-hmm. We're actually opposite. We're very conservative. We don't have it part of our plans, and if we do sell players, that's always a bonus. Mm-hmm. And if we go to European competition, that's a bonus and stuff like that. So we go in a very conservative budgets, worst case scenario. So if you look at our budgets, we have the team finishing not even top 3, 8th place, no Polish Cup, mm-hmm. no European competition. This is how I do business. Never spend the money you do not have. Once we make the money, we'll spend it for the next year.
Okay. It's, I think, a good information for our fans. And please tell me, what was the most difficult aspect of the negotiations with all of the stakeholders when you take this club? This first attempt without success and the second one?
There was no negotiations. When it was on March 13th, mm-hmm. When I came to Warsaw with 10 and Marius, we realized that we have 24 hours to save the team. We tried to reach out to the loan lenders. None of them would agree to give us any written extensions. So we had to take a chance that say, okay, you know what, we buy the club and we have 24 hours to do it. And then hopefully we go to them and then negotiate a deal with them. And again, one of those things, I do things by my heart. And, my lawyers disagree, thought this is a crazy idea. Mm-hmm. And but I went with it because I realized if I didn't move within the next 18 hours or 16 hours that day against Cracovia that we're going to play this mm-hmm. Saturday, there's not going to be security, there's not going to be light at stadium, there's not going to be heating, and there's not going to be a match. And if that happened, we were going to lose 3 players. They had given their notices. One of them actually was, I'm not going to give the name, but and if those players left and other players followed and no match canceled, the team would be in a 4th division. I never forget, I asked the lawyers in Warsaw to give me an hour. Mm-hmm. I got into a taxi. I went to this sushi restaurant. I sat down by myself, and I just thought about it for 1 hour. came back and said, listen, we're going to do the deal. And doesn't matter. We will fight the lenders, and because if these lenders are stupid enough that they're going to lose all their investments tomorrow anyway, and if we take over and they want to squeeze us and get their money a week later, shows how heartless they are. And so we did the deal. And unfortunately, lots of lenders, the minute they realize that I'm in there, they ask for their money right away, and they put pressure on us. And we start paying them off. One of the first people we paid off was Carroll. He had 777 against the club. He could have basically closed all the bank accounts. He had it against Morochek. He had it against everybody else, and there were a few other people. So we paid him off, and a few other people, and it's been a long journey. It's been 221 days, but it feels like 6 years.
It's still counting, counting. Alex, okay, we can move from this financial stuff for a moment, because probably it will be still connected with the next questions. I don't want to go back to the last season, but after the season, we had a summer break and big rebuild of the squad. Can we resume all of those changes, how it looks from your perspective and also financial perspective? Now you pay more money for the players, or it was more in the last season? How it looks?
We pay a lot more. Our budget is increased by like almost 30%.
30%, okay.
Last December break, the team lost a few players. Wahan was sold to Legia, and a few other players were let go. So the team really was down to really 13, 14 players. And they did a great job. They worked really hard, the coaches and them and the players. And we got very lucky. There was no serious injuries. And we realized that we needed to get younger, to get faster, to get more talent. Last year, the team had two players you could sell. It was Adrian and it was Cluris, So we needed to get assets. Academy, we don't have much players we could sell. I mean, if you look at it, the team hasn't sold any players in 3 years now from Academy. So this is basically our focus. We didn't have much time also because I guess Adamczyk and his scouts, they didn't have a plan, because they didn't have the budget. So they didn't, when we asked them, do you have a list of players that you want to sign for the summer, or you started negotiations? And the answer was no. So we had to start from day one, zero, and to start looking at players. Lots of the good Polish players were already committed. They already had signed pre-contracts, and they were knowing where they're going to go. This is one of the reasons we do not have enough Polish players. So we started looking, calling, making phone calls, and that's why not all our players came in before the camp started. We want to be patient, hopefully to find the best talents possible. I am very happy with the players. I think they're very much younger. You look at the players we brought, from Marian, his age. You look at Morendier, you look at Yannick. They're like 24, 23. Musa is 23, 24. Molnar is 23. Sam Greenwood, 23 years old. So we brought in some really good players. You brought Paul, that's 24. And those are players you could actually sell. So if you look now, you have 7 players that you could sell. And if they do well, you get good money for them. And we're not looking to sell, but it's good to have assets. And then we brought quality character people, that we think they're going to help us. In this case, we brought in Pozo. That is a bit older, he's 29, but he's got experience. And we brought in Benjamin Mendy, who's won before Championship, World Cup. So he brings an experience of winning, which we think we lacked. We brought players for the future, like you look at Tristan Andrew from Copenhagen Academy, great young talent.
And what's happening with him because he's not playing the last game?
He's injured.
Okay.
He starts his physio. He got hurt in his second or third game, but he's doing well with physio. He's going to start practicing again. And we believe he's going to be our future number 6. He's great talent. We're looking at a couple of other young players, But our goal is to have our academy mostly great young Polish players, We're focusing on that. But so we didn't just do today, tomorrow, or older players. We had a plan. We want to be patient and get as many good quality players as possible. Am I happy? 100%, but not all the players going to work out, and I think... and again, we'll set from day one always, we'll make mistakes, but it will be honest mistakes. I think these players need to play. I know first 2 games, everybody was tough on more NDA, and now with the new coach and him playing, people see his potential that we saw.
Also me, I need to say sorry to him because I was one of the first persons who said he is not on this level to play in Ekstraklasa.
And, we think he's got so much more to go. He's got a great top speed. You've seen his speed on last match, and he easily, in a few practices, he reaches 34 kilometers per hour, He's a great team player, players love him, and we have young players like Musa and Paul. If you look at it, Paul's got 2 goals and 1 assist, and he only played 400 minutes. Limited time. New country, new culture, new language, new homes. For the first 6-7 weeks, they were living in a hotel room, these players. So it's tough for them. It takes time to get adjusted. But these numbers are great. We lost some players, and I know our fans were not happy. Kurzawa, some players wanted him, and Marcel and Lukasczyk, we weren't going to overpay for them. We knew we wanted to keep them, but we had a budget. We thought they were worth, and what they asked from us and what we offered, they end up getting what we offered from a different club. But I guess they decided to take the club differently. But we wanted to get younger, Gamboa, nice man, lots of respect for him. Kurzawa, great man, but we needed to get younger, So you replace Kurzawa with Sam Greenwood, there's a 10 years age difference. For us, that was a big deal. You replace Marcel with someone like, in this case, with Musa. So that's the way we thought about it. And am I happy? Yeah, I'm really happy. I think the team finally is getting closer to each other. They're playing like a team, and they're spending time together. And you've seen a very nice chemistry has been built, which is really nice.
I want to ask because we know few players was out of contract, like Kurzawa, Wędrychowski, Łukaszek, and etc. But you also lose Gamboa and Kuluris. Of course, this is 2 different topics, but it was related with the financial things, or it was something different.
With regards to Kuluris, we were surprised because the entire summer they were given the impression that they're going to stay with us. So we prepared a long-term contract offer, which would have made him the highest paid player in the history of Pogon. And every intention was given to us that he was going to stay. And first time we find out that he actually wants to leave was 2 days before the Radom game. And got us to surprise. And that's why we were not prepared to have a backup striker, and that's really surprised us. And I don't blame Kuluris for leaving. What they offered him is in 1 year is more than he probably made his entire career, and he had to do it for his family, I know some fans were upset at him. They shouldn't. I think while he was here, he gave 120% for this team. He was a great teammate, great character. And even dealing with us the last few weeks, he was very classy. And, him and I had actually had a conversation 2 days ago before the Poznan game, and wished the team, we spoke on the phone, wished the team good luck, and he wished he was there because he loved, and he misses the team and his teammates. We had no choice. We had to sell him. The offer, obviously, we played really hard. The initial offer was 1/3 of what we ended up getting. With Gamboa, it was coach's decision. The coach wanted different number 6, and in this case, and our sporting guys, Tan and Lee and everybody else felt that we need to make a change in number 6. And that's why we, worked with basically Gamboa to sell him or for free in Korea to make sure he continues his career, to make sure, he's protected, his family's protected. He was very classy, and we were very classy with him.
And he is a Korea champions from few days.
Yeah, that was great to see,
Alex, of course, we have a few games left in this first part of the season, but after that it will come winter, and it's of course connected with the winter transfer window. How it looks in Pogoni situation? It will be zero spend policy, or we have some things, some cash, what we want to invest in the team?
Listen, I don't think we're going to be aggressive. We have like 24 players now. We are a deep team. Even after transfer window closed, we brought players like Mendy and Hussein Ali, who's a great young talent. However, if we see opportunity to improve the team, we will do it. We have our eyes open. You'd be surprised sometimes a unique opportunity comes in, and we're not going to say no to it. If we get an opportunity to improve the team as an assistant coach or video analyst or, set pieces coach or striker or I do not know whatever position, if he's going to improve the team and coach wants it, we will definitely do it. Our coach is a driver on that. He'll make the final decision on it, and whatever he says, as long as kind of aligned with our financial philosophy, we'll get it done for him.
What is a Pogoni realistic sporting goals for this season? Because I know after a few games we can review our goals. Before the start of the season, you was asked in one of the TV shows, internet shows, about your expectations. You say top 2. After those few games, it's reliable.
I think our task is very difficult. I think it wasn't a projection; it was a goal. This was when we had Cluris, we planning that he was going to stay with us. And if you have a player that scores you 28 goals or 31 goals in a year, and then you brought him great wingers like, Paul and Musa and, other players, you're kind of optimistic. You believe that, hey, we're a much better team. And with Kulo having even 18 or 20 goals, you could do really well. Radom game could have been 2-0 within first 10 minutes. And if you score those 2 goals with Kulo and Paul, maybe different. And, Arca game, Kulo scores that penalty shot is again different games. We had some interesting games that could have gone either way. Luck was on our side, or, state of mind of, let's say, Kulo and other players were not there. Where we are, it really hurts me personally because I hate to lose. But the key is to improve. I still believe we have a good chance to go to Europe. And I think for this organization, it would be very nice to go to Europe. Polish Cup is important for us. We have a very tough draw, but that's okay. At one point, you have to beat some of those top teams if you want to be a champion, if you want to be a real, true champion. So, but my goal, and I would love to achieve, is to go to Europe next year to finish top 4.
Okay, and go back a little bit to previous questions about the coach. You're after your first transfer window, this summer window. Yes, it was your first, like a new chairman and new organization in the club. After this first transfer window, this first summer, you have some things how you want to work in the future, how will be this sport division looks in the club. You want to hire sport director, or you have a different things about that, and how you want to work in the future in this sport area?
Sure. I think where we came in and how we came in and where the team was with financial situation, it's just like walking into a house on fire. You know, the first thing you do is get the family and the children out of the burning house. So in this case was paying the debts, paying loans, and make sure players' salaries, bonuses are paid, and that you don't lose any players. After that, you know, is what's the next most important thing. And basically, it's been a very tough process, you know. And then you had a Polish Cup that you had to focus on, and trying to finish top 3, top 4. And after that, we had to get ready for the transfer window. So realistically, we're looking to build a lean, football operation, which you have a sporting director, you have scouting, you know, that you have data analytics, that you look at data, but you actually go watch players live. Before you sign a player, you want to watch them at least 4 times. You know, so those are our goals, you know. So right now we start the process of putting our scouting department together. So in the next 30 days or so, our goal is to have a head scout, chief of scouts, and also 4 to 5 scouts added to the team. We are in negotiations with scouts of different, who most of them are employed in Extraclasa right now.
Okay.
And then we have a couple of people in mind for sporting director, you know, but we will have a sporting director and we will have scouting. We will, you know, our focus is basically right now is our academy and our football division right now.
Okay, move a little bit forward to topics about the coaches. Thomas Berg, it's our new coach. Good results in the first 2 official games, 4 points. I think it's a really good start because we also play with the Polish champion on his stadium. We read it in media a lot of surnames of potential coaches. Why this coach, and what he have, what you loved from the first match?
Great question. Lots of, again, some of the things in media, some of the names you look at as like, actually you never heard of it. Like I would look at it as like, oh, interesting. Then you would Google the names. A lot of times, I guess agents would like to leak the name of their coaches there. I love Thomas because, you know, he showed loyalty. He worked in organizations. He worked a long, long time. He was a pragmatic coach. He loves to win. He's very competitive, you know, and then he'll find a way to win games. You know, he loved playing young players. If you look at the players he played, you know, his defense, for example, I believe there were like 18-year-old, 22, and a 24-year-old. You know, he had lots of young players, 18 to 20, you know, 4, 25, and they had a couple of older players. So he believed in playing young players, which was very important for us because we have an academy, and our academy players need to know that they have a path to play in the A team. If we don't give them a path, we don't give them a chance, then we should not have an academy. That was important. And, you know, the fact that a player like Kermitz is getting a chance to play starting now, that's also reflective of how he thinks of young players and developing young players. So I love that about him. He's a very tactical. I think it's important for us not just to be a good communicator, but find ways to win games and, make good changes and stuff like that. So we find lots of good qualities in him compared to other people we interviewed. Mm-hmm. And he was our target number one from day one. Initially said no, but I guess after he said no, he watched the videos of the fans and the city and everything like that. And I really think it was the fans and the stadium who did it for him.
Mm-hmm. And when you take this coach, you set for him short, middle, or long-term goals to achieve, or no?
No, I think someone like that, you don't need to tell him the goals. He knows what the goals are. Mm-hmm. It's a long-term play for us. That's why most teams give the coaches 1 year or 2 year contracts. In this case, we made a 3 year commitment. Our goal is to become a better organization every week, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis by him. And he's very hardworking. Like sometimes I come to stadium at 7:30 in the morning and he's there already, and sometimes I like working late. And, a few days ago I left the stadium at 10:30 in nighttime and his car's still there. So he works really hard, easygoing, and a student of the game. I think for Lech Poznan, he had watched 11 of their games already. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of great to see.
Okay, and he changed Robert Kolendowicz, and please tell me what ultimately led to dismissal of Robert Kolendowicz.
I think at the end of the day, results. Mm-hmm. Our results were not there. Like, I love Robert. I think he was a great communicator. He's a great leader. He did a great job last year with the team, considering he had a really short team of 13, 14 players. I think Robert, there's no questions he will get a job in Ekstraklasa. I'm shocked that some of the Ekstraklasa teams that are looking to add a coach, they haven't called or reached out to him, because I think he's an unbelievable coach. Sometimes you need to make changes. Like you look at Michelin, in this case, they fired Thomas after mm-hmm. unbeaten in 18 games. Mm-hmm. They need to make a change, Ekstraklasa teams that they're looking to make a change and bring a real leader, they should seriously consider Robert. I love him. I think he's an unbelievable human being. Very classy, great communicator. I have nothing but the world's respect for him. And I think the next organization he goes, he'll do really well, because he was also in a tough situation, because a lot of people he was coaching were his friends. Mm-hmm. When he goes to a different club, it's a brand new, fresh start with no players that they were his friends and everything like that. And he's going to become better and better. And I believe someday he'll be one of those coaches that you'll see him in one of the top leagues in Europe, top 5 leagues.
And what was your relation with him? How it was looks in daily tasks, in daily life in the club?
Yeah, it was great. He was very respectful. I would ask questions. He will always politely answer questions and stuff like that. I read a lot of questions about comments like, we would tell him, you got to do this, you got to do that, play that. This conversation never happened even once with him. I think last year I went to the dressing room 2 or 3 times only. One time was after Cracovia match, and one time was before Polish Cup, to went inside dressing room to tell them about the bonuses that we're going to do. And last game was, again, before Jagiellonia match, to say, listen, guys, this is important for us to win, and here's the bonus for you guys. I respected space. Never asked him who you're going to play against Jagiellonia or Polish Cup or starting lineup. Find out about it with everybody else and with the fans. And with regards to players, he had the last say. Our process with him and every coach is very simple. A coach says, I want a number 6, I want this qualities, this. Then 10, Lee, Marius, and the rest of the team that's supporting 10, they'll look, find players, they watch videos, they talk to people who coached them before or journalists to make sure everything's okay. Mm-hmm. Then we call the players' agents to see what the salary expectations are. Does it fit us? And if the salary fits us and everything is good, then we'll give it to the coach and his coaching staff, and they make the last call. Mm-hmm. There were 2 players that we wanted to bring them on board, and the money was great. Everything was, the deal with the clubs were agreed on, and the coach Robert didn't like them, and we respected that decision, and we'll do the same thing with Thomas. They'll, as long as I'm the owner, the coach will decide who's going to be the player on his team.
Okay, but I'm thinking about the timing of this decision. Today, from today's perspective, in your opinion, it was a good time? It was not better to do this before the season or before this September international break?
No, and I told you, I know lots of fans wanted me to let him go after the Jagiellonia match, mm-hmm. because I remember reading the social media. But it would be unfair to judge the coach because he only had 13 players. He didn't have the full team. And so I wanted to give him a chance to play with the full team, and we brought the players and everything, and then we didn't start well, mm-hmm. But then we sat down with Tan and everybody else, and it was very difficult for the team because Kluris was a big elephant in the room. He wants to leave, he's distracted, he missed goals, he missed penalty, mm-hmm. he's not happy, and it was very tough for us to judge him based on that. So we made a tough decision, says, you know what, we haven't sold him, let's get rid of the problem. So against Vidzav, we told him not to travel with the team. Mm-hmm. He was not 100% with the team. I don't think he was there 20% even. So after that, we won 2 games, and mm-hmm. Things are great. Okay, maybe because of the distractions is now everything's gone, and you brought Molnars and everybody else, and everything looks good. And unfortunately, after the break, we didn't do well, and we felt that we had to make a change at that time. It was very difficult because I really personally like Robert, and you could have you want the person to be successful. I know he wasn't my coach. I did not hire him, but again, I respect him, and I think they had made the right choice to hire him as a coach, and I just didn't want to give him a chance to be successful. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we talked about the coaches, and now we can move forward. And in those last few months, 7 or 8 months, are good counting?
7 months.
7 months. There was a lot of also organizational changes in the club. You are the owner, the chairman. We have Tan like a CEO. We have a CFO, Piotr Derkowski. We have a supervisory board, and this is a this a target model, or we still want to rebuild this?
I like to personally. I like to add a few more people, mm-hmm. especially to supervisory board and and even management board. But you got to be very selective. You got to make sure there's synergies, there's chemistry. They understand what we want to do. We had chance to bring in a very great football player, but one of the challenges football player doesn't speak English, mm-hmm. and doesn't speak Polish. So would that be a problem? So we are very trying to find the right candidates that could really help us. We had a talk yesterday with someone which we both Tan and I know and respect a lot, and he's interested. So our goal is to improve the team, not just on the pitch, off the pitch. Mm-hmm. If we have smart, good people, we will be a better organization, because especially some of these people will have networks, relationships, and those relationships going to help us to do business.
One of the biggest partner of the club from a lot of years, it's City of Szczecin. How the cooperation with the city looks right now?
It's been great. They've been great supporter. They've done a great job helping us out, giving us advice. They've been great to work with, You couldn't ask for a better landlord. You couldn't ask for better support. They really care about the team, the success of the team, But we also make sure we don't abuse it. We don't make sure we don't become one of those football teams in Ekstraklasa that goes like, you got to give us 6 million or 10 million of zloty, or else we go in bankruptcy or this or that. Or, our job is to be self-independent, pay our rent on time, make sure the stadium that they spend lots of money to build it is well kept, looks great. Make sure the citizens of Pogoni session are get something back, and also we got to give back to community. Right now, we work really hard to get Italy, Poland under 21, which we think is going to be great for the city, because you're going to get hundreds, if not thousands, of the fans coming in here. The hotels will be busy, the restaurants will be busy, and our goal is to get more events like this to the city, because as a football club, that's our responsibility. But the mayor, deputy mayors, I actually personally thank them for all the support they give in to the team.
We talked about organizational things, organizational changes, and please tell me honestly, it was like it's rumored club loses his money on the catering in the last seasons?
Yeah, significant amount of money, that was a big problem for us, and that's one of the first changes we made to make sure we brought the catering inside. It does 3-4 things for us. A, we do not lose money. We're going to make money. B, our academy players need to get good nutrition food, so we don't have to go on our catering and stuff like that. We control the food our players and our academy players eat. And I think the most important thing, our fans, that you're giving really good quality food and you have a good fan experience. So when they come in there, they have a good kielbasa, they have good popcorns, great fresh products and everything like that. And I know fans were not happy with the beer.
Yeah, a lot of questions I received about that.
Unfortunately, for now, for the next few months, we can't do much because we have a contract which is very difficult to break. But we already started negotiation with Bossman and a few other brands. And we will eventually bring the best beer the fans want. But sometimes you got to be patient, because some agreements you cannot break.
Okay.
We were fortunate. We were able to do something with a contract of catering. I'm not going to get into details how, but catering now, revenues are great. Yeah,
I want to ask about the revenue. You're satisfied right now with these numbers, or you thinking it will be better, or?
No, it's been great. It's been great. I think the numbers have been great, and I think, guys, there's a lot more to improve. We try to keep it basic, but we also don't want to make it too expensive. For example, right now we know we are the 11th cheapest beer in Ekstraklasa, so we take pride in that. We made sure some of the fans were not happy with the size of the tea. We made sure now it's like bigger. We know fans wanted fresh popcorn. We've done that. For us, we want to make sure our fans are like really taken care of. They pay fair value, that we are not the most expensive one, but we give the best quality food. Also for the VIP clients, also for the for the boxes and stuff like that, and just make sure anybody who comes to the match goes like, wow, that was a good food, good everything.
from this moment when the stadium was opened after a build, fans still waiting for the restaurant and museum. It will be on the stadium or not?
Great question. Timing is perfect because when you air this tomorrow, which I believe Thursday, we're gonna actually showcase the new design of the pub and the restaurant. We've been working on it for a few months, and I'm hoping the fans will love it because this will allow the Pogon fans to come, have variety of beers, great food at the stadium 7 days a week. And when we are not at home away matches, we're going to have screens outside, barbecue outside and inside, watch the matches basically at their own pub and everything like that.
Okay, it will be great. Then we have a nice news. I know you put a lot of attentions into this last month to things like a match day experience. You are happy how it works now, or you want to do something more for the fans to come before the games? I know now it's happening quite a lot before the games, but what is your plan for the future for that?
I think the team, like Bartek and Peter Bonarski and Lukasz and all the guys in the organization, they've done a great job to. When I asked them, let's do this really fun for the family, they created a great family zone, that family and the children that come in there. We want to create even more fun for families and stuff like that and bring in partners. We could maybe do more things there. We want to do little festivals there, feature different businesses, which is very important for us. Bring local bands in the parking area so fans could come an hour before the match and listen to the favorite band that they want to do. During the halftime, we have some really cool plans. I personally want our fans to come 3-4 hours, an hour before the game, 1.5 hours before the game, an hour after the match. Have a great experience, watch the game, go to the pub, go to certain areas, to halftime. I want us to be the most entertaining experience in all Poland, and coming from Canada, going to lots of events in Canada and US, watching NFL, watching NBA, you see that's a big part of the experience there. And I really hope we could learn from those top leagues, like even MLS, how they do it there, to bring it to Pogon.
Okay, let's go a little bit back to the team things. Behind you, there is a shirt of Linus Wahlqvist. We'll publish this interview on Thursday. It will be after announcement of he signed a new contract. Can you comment this?
Sure. We signed Linus for a 3-year contract. We do have an option on that, Coming here, right away we realized Linus is one of our leaders. Not just a great player. He's a great leader. He's a great person. And he does so much for the community. He does so much for his teammates and so much for the organization. My job is to make sure the anchors and the people who represent the culture and everything stay and they don't go anywhere. And Linus is one of those players. So to be able to get commitment from him to stay with us for a long time, and I'm hoping that eventually someday he finishes his career with us. It means a lot for us. I personally love him. I think he's unbelievable. But there's a few players who are core players. Like our captain is one of the people that we're gonna keep, and Leo Borges. There's lots of key players that are important for our organization.
And fans can expect next good news in the next weeks.
100%. We'll. So with regards to Camille, he's Pogon and Pogon is Camille. I can't picture him playing with another uniform. He will not look good in it. So no, I don't want to think about tomatoes too much. So no, it will happen. And there's a few players we have in mind, and we love the team we have right now. We love the characters we have. Every single player there is great, and our job is to make sure this team stays as long as together possible, then every year you just maybe do 2 or 3 small tweaks. You don't have to go through 11 changes. And this way you could build the championship team in a few, basically.
Alex, before our interview, our meeting here, I asked Pogoni fans about your best decision in this 220 days when you was a boss of this club, and the worst decisions. I think not all read good my intentions in that questions, but how do you think? What was what was the top in the best decisions in our fans' votes?
I have no idea, actually. Which one was it?
All things connected with the finance, not loans. Your cash invested. I think fans really appreciate that, and also a lot of input about how you react for all of those things comes out about the Pogoni, how you fight for the Pogoni, also in social media. But this is also mostly pointed by fans when we ask about the worst decision. It's not decision, but they put some Twitter wars, X wars, where you was involved. What do you think about that?
So let me ask you a question. Name me the CEO of Coca-Cola.
I don't know.
What about Pepsi?
I don't know.
What about Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC?
I don't know.
Biggest bank in the world, HSBC.
I don't know.
Okay, who is the owner and CEO of Twitter?
Elon Musk.
Very good. Who is the CEO of Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
There's different management styles. There are people who behind the scenes quiet, and there are people who are like Elon Musk who are active, and they like to engage with their fans, the customers, and everything. If you look at Elon, he does 8 to 10 tweets a day, and and when he wants to launch a car or he wants to do something for Twitter or something like that, he gets his fans' opinions on it. When I came to Pogon, I realized 2 things. Number one, the fans of Pogon had no idea how much the club owes money to. Everybody thought Pogon is doing great, academy is great, is a model club. And when I came...
But it was also a media view of the club.
Absolutely. So media and you guys and everybody else, nobody asked those tough questions from them. And there was no transparency, from my opinion. And when I went in January, I think 10th or 11th, I told the club actually owes this much money. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody is like, why this guy is doing this? They had a press conference. I'm like, well, you should ask those questions from press conference. Everybody thought I was crazy. In beginning of January, I sent a message to you and a few journalists about my offer. It was never published. Why? Let me ask
you. If you ask me, I don't remember the situation exactly, but I think the silent near the club in this situation was important for that moment, from my perspective.
I think, and I respect that. And I think, I'm not trying to, I think 2 things were important for me. I think, number one, transparency. When I made my offer to buy the club, I made a commitment that I'll always be transparent with the fans. I'd rather fans hate me for telling the truth than like me for lying to them. So that's important for me. I also believed after my experience for a few weeks with journalists in, this area, I made an offer, and I think my first week ownership, Veshlo did a story about me that, I failed in Kavala and all these troubles without even checking with me. So it was important for me to have an authentic, transparent conversation with the fans. Tell them how it is. When we paid somebody off, hey, we paid Karol Zambrowski, we paid Jarek Sajevic, this is how much debt we paid, and all those things. The other thing is my character I'm a fighter. I will fight for what I believe. I'll fight for my staff. If you attack staff working for me, and I will fight for them. I'll stand up for them. I've done that, and you've seen it through social media for the last few months. Somebody attacked Lukasz Beeman. It's like, no, you do not attack my people. And even let's say Thomas, who's our lawyer, who does a great job for us, by the way. And he is very important to me and what he does on a daily basis. I will stand up for them, because as a leader, I believe your job is to fight for what you believe in and for Pogon. I think not many people fought for this club. I think, everybody was getting some benefits from it. And they're like, okay, you know what, let's not, who cares? Is my hard-earned money, the 50 million zloty I put from my pocket. I really worked hard. I didn't come from a rich dad. I didn't come from a rich family. I used to sell hot dogs. I used to have 3 jobs, going to university. And all my life I had to fight for everything I had. And now that I'm part of Pogon, I will fight for it. Is who I am. I'm authentic. One of the top social media individuals of, let's say, Cracovia, attacks the team and calls the staff and the players and the organization, my fans, creeps and bad things. I have to stand up for it. Maybe the right thing would be say nothing, say okay, whatever, who cares? But or there was a account, I remember, I believe Camille, some fake Twitter account, and I went really hard at it because I kind of knew who this person was. But I didn't like the fact that they kept attacking Tan Kessler and Thomas and a few of my staff. I don't think that was fair. And since then, that account eventually closed. I have a great relationship with every club in Ekstraklasa except Cracovia. And I just didn't appreciate the Cracovia president coming and commenting on our players, that they were offered to them and they passed on them, they were too expensive. Because even though it looks innocent, it doesn't look innocent. It just implies that Sam Greenwood, in this case, was such an expensive player. We were prepared to pay for the money, but they weren't, because then creates problem in my locker room and my change room. Players read that, it's like, is he paying this crazy money to Sam Greenwood? Then why is he paying me this money? I believe that you should never talk about other people's family. I don't think you should talk about other people's employees or other teams' players. I will never comment on any other team's players. Today I was called about Legia situation by journalists. My comment was, I have my own problems to worry about. I have no comment. It's not my business. What's happening in Jagiellonia or, I don't know, Dinamo Zagreb or Galatasaray or any other team in Ekstraklasa or Gornik, you name it. They're not my business. My business is Pogon, and to make sure it's safe, it's protected. I know some fans disagree. Some people disagree. When they have their own team and they spend the money, they should do it. I am promised my people here that I'll be authentic, I'll be transparent, I will always tell them the truth.
Okay, but in the past, do you regret any of your posts afterward?
It's crazy, but I don't have any regrets in life.
Okay.
Except sometimes you look back when you were younger, you wasted certain times, but I don't have really regrets, In life, everything happens for a reason. I don't, do I make mistakes? I make lots of mistakes, Do I make wrong decisions? I make wrong decisions. is normal, if situations will happen, would I do it differently? Maybe.
Okay.
The idea is you're in a work in progress. You need to improve every day. And my goal is to improve as a football owner every day. This is also new for me as well. You're owner of a great team in Ekstraklasa, in a great league. So there's a balance, and to me, hopefully I will be better every day.
Okay, I think we're coming nearly to the end of our talk, but there is one thing where I have a few questions. This is our academy. What was the status of the academy when you comes into the club? How it looks from sport perspective, from financial perspective, because I know you also hired some your coaches now. They probably do some audit for you, how it looks, how it works. Do you have any doubts about that?
I think I personally believe our academy was is not where it should have been. It was a difficult year last year for the team. When we took over, a bunch of our teams were in relegation zone, and eventually some of them relegated. So our goal was a few things. It was number one, to make sure some of the young players, like, we lost, Anthony, to a very good young player to Vizu, with Vizev. That doesn't happen again, so we went through the roster who we could lose. We were tough, but we were able to keep, Patrick Prizek and, Macic, we realized that our academy needs to improve our coaching. We need to bring intensity. We brought in, we found these great coaches who were from Spain, but they were in a Saudi organization, one of the top organizations in Saudi. We worked really hard to recruit them. They've been with us for a few months now. We're putting systems together. So our focus to bring in top-notch coaches, and some of the good coaches we have, we're going to have them work with Thomas Berg and eventually elevate their levels. We creating a path again with Thomas Berg that our academy players going to get a chance to play in the A team eventually. And we also made tough choices. Like if you look at our B team, the results are not where we want it to be. But this is the youngest team in a B league. Most of them are 17-year-old kids who are playing against 28, 30, 34-year-old men. We wanted our young players to develop, to be toughened up, to play against tougher competition. Our under-19 is also extremely young. We think, we will struggle, but in the long run, it's going to be great. We're not going to get relegated. I'm confident about that. And our focus is to make sure those young players have a place to play. They have good coaching. And the academy was not a great place last year. It's better now, and I'm going to get better and better. If you look how many young players we have in a national team and how effective they are, is actually great. And I think we're going to get more and more. And we hiring a couple of scouts. We want to make sure good players in this region also come to our academy, and we don't lose them to Legia or Lech Poznan. We look into ways for schooling, to bring the schooling inside. We brought the catering inside, and those are some of the things we are looking into do. And academy is a big priority for us. Our goal, again, like you look at Benfica, you look at Ajax Amsterdam, you look at Porto, how successful they are. Our goal to have, 5, 6, 7, 8 of your players in A team starting lineup coming from your academy, and that will be great. It will be a Polish academy, 98% of our players be from Poland. But but we'll have one or two good players. We'll collaborate with other academies like Copenhagen or Anderlecht. Right now we're talking to a couple of teams in Germany. So, and also England. Academy, really, really important for us.
Mm-hmm. In the last years, before you come here to the Szczecin, we heard about the academy. It will be a main core of the club to promote and sell young players. It will be a main core of the budget. Of course, 1 year you have one player, 2-3 years you don't have any player for sale. It will be the same situation and point of view, your point of view for the academy and the club, or not?
I think it has to get there. And I think if we want to compete with top teams, you look at our budget. Grant Thornton did the budget for extra class of teams. When you got a team like Legia, who's got a 230 million budget, and we are at 78, it's hard to compete with them, or Lech Poznań or Jagiellonia, those top 4 teams, because they have this huge budgets. So we have to make sure academy produces good players. But our philosophy is a bit different. I know Pogon focused on having 1,400 or 1,600 kids. I don't think quantity is the key. We believe quality is the key. Maybe it's better to have 800 players who are really, really good, who get 4 days a week training versus 2 days a week training. Intensity, our philosophy is going to change. Where most academies, they're going to focus on just running by itself. We want to make sure, even if you're running, you're walking, there's a ball in your feet, you're eating healthy. We're going to have some of our 18 players like Sam Greenwood or Molnar have camps with these young players and work with them and lecture them and stuff like that. And we're trying to bring in more our academy players watching the practices and A-team games and to see what it takes to be a professional. But it's a big part of our plan. We want to be an elite academy. We're not going to be for everybody, but for the players, for the parents who want the kids to make it professionally, we want to be academy for them.
Alex, thank you very much for your time, for coming here to this studio of Sport Szczecin channel on YouTube. I think we take a lot of topics to talk, maybe not that deep like fans always want to go, but my proposal is to meet, I don't know, one time per 2 months, maybe for 3 months, to talk and present the club for the fans. What do you think about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, then we'll talk about this behind the cameras. Alex, one more time, thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure.
It was pleasure also for me. Wam również dziękuję. Mam nadzieję, że rozmowa, którą dla Was przygotowałem, przyniesie Wam trochę ciekawostek z życia Pogoni Szczecin, przybliży to, co działo się w klubie w ostatnich tygodniach i to, co będzie się działo w najbliższych, bo na pewno będzie ciekawe mecze przed nami, ale jak też słyszycie, kolejne ciekawe newsy i decyzje przed Pogonią. Dziękuję raz jeszcze, do usłyszenia. Daniel Trzepacz.